But there was outrage in the Italian press when it emerged that the Queen had made it known that she wouldn't eat pasta, tomato sauce, or garlic.
Oh no, the Queen doesn't like anything like that. She's very English in her taste.
I think it's for fairly obvious reasons that if you're talking to somebody, the last thing you need is sort of swathes of garlic breathed all over you.
I quite agree with the Queen. She's got impeccable taste. Garlic and onions should be abolished.
20 years today.
The Italians didn't realise that Her Majesty had also said non grazie to the local mineral water.
She doesn't trust the local water at all, not even the bottle variety, and she takes crates and crates of Malvern water with her.
She likes her tea made with Malvern water because she can't run risks of getting ill anywhere and ruining the tour. Usually these tours are planned 2 or 3 years in advance, so, you know, for that reason she doesn't eat seafood when she's abroad because, you know, it's a bit risky.
The state visit to China in 1986 brought a worried look from Her Majesty, and it wasn't just the prospect of chopsticks. On her plate was that favourite Chinese delicacy, the slimy sea slug.
The things they do for England.
Graham is making a cheese sauce for the cauliflower du Barry. No cheddar here, just freshly grated Gruyere.
The thing that probably sticks out in my mind about cooking on board was the long days. I used to have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning, start work for 6:30, prepare royal breakfast, then after that royal lunch, afternoon tea, and then dinner. Didn't really get a break until maybe 10 o'clock at night. And when you're on board for maybe a month at a time, it can be really hard work.
Royal food is always labour-intensive. For example, you couldn't just serve any old cauliflower cheese. There has to be a twist.
So now what I've got to do is prepare the du Barry garnish for the lamb. And it's the cauliflower floret, and you get a nice clean white napkin, just place it inside and squeeze it, and it takes out most of the moisture. And you also end up with a nice, neat, like miniature cauliflower. So there's one. It's a lot of effort for a piece of cauliflower, but I think it's worth it in the end presentation-wise. At this stage, you have to get everything out on time. Timing has got to be absolutely spot on. You can't have the Queen waiting. Now we've got our cheese sauce. So what I need to do now is just nappe the top of the cauliflower. Nappe just means cover them. So they're just like individual miniature cauliflowers. This is cauliflower cheese a la Royale. Sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. And that has to go under the grill.
The Queen Mum in Venice, a chance too good to miss for the paparazzi.
The gondolier with the red hat band approached, the cornetto was exchanged. He got a handshake, so did his mate, and the object was whisked away by the entourage, who didn't think it as funny as everyone else did.
The Italians may be good at making ice cream, but the royal chefs know a thing or two as well.
There's nothing wrong with ice cream out of a tub, but it's much, much better for you if you can make your own. So now I've got 10 egg yolks. Now I need 2 pints of thick cream. This cream would normally come from the Royal Dairy. It's the thickest cream I've ever seen, the Windsor cream. And to that, I will add 5 ounces of sugar. So what we have to do now is bring this to the boil. So now the cream's come to the boil. Just pour it onto the egg yolks, but you've got to whisk all the time and pour it on slowly. Once it's thoroughly mixed in, you have to pour the mixture back into the pan and just reheat it slowly, just so it thickens a little and coats the back of a spoon. When that's cooled down, I'm going to add a plum puree that I've made. And I've made this by stewing 2 pound of garden plums with a little bit of lemon rind, some sugar and a drop of water, just to make a nice thick sauce like that. That's the Royal ice cream machine. I've got my plum ice cream in there now. It's freezing it and at the same time it's whipping it as well. This is how the royals have their ice cream presented all the time, the royal family.
Time to finish off the main course.
The presentation is very important, so I'll just discard the end couple of pieces of lamb and just get the ones from the middle with a real nice eye of meat. When you're being entertained by the royal family, I think that people have very high expectations, so it's got to be absolutely perfect. That lamb's lovely and pink, lovely and juicy, and now it's ready to serve. These aren't terribly big portions because the royal family quite often eat 5 meals a day. It's better to eat everything that you've got on your plate and ask for a little more if you want some rather than leave some. That's the etiquette. Just drizzle a little bit of the sauce over. And there we have roast saddle of lamb du Barry à la Royale. Being on the Royal Yacht was really hard work. I've never been at sea before, so I liked it. Occasionally the royal family would go out for lunch, maybe to a government house or something, so you got a break then and got to have a look around. It was an exciting time.
Every summer, the Queen and her family head north to Scotland. Royal chef Graham Newbold used to join them.
More often than not, I would come in mid-July for between 6 to 10 weeks, and that would be to look after and cook for the royal family at Balmoral. Everything would be shipped up from Buckingham Palace. It would be packed up by the kitchen staff, all the kitchen equipment, and then it would be put in army trucks, and the army trucks would travel overnight.
Balmoral is a throwback to a culinary age long since gone.
Balmoral is full of antlers. They seem to be everywhere, sprouting at you.
Whatever the season is, whether it's salmon fishing or stalking or shooting, they will eat what they kill. There's vast vegetable gardens, and the Queen has a herd of Highland cattle. So they're very self-sufficient.
The royal family could choose anywhere in the world to holiday, but since Queen Victoria's time, they've always headed for Deeside. They've forged a unique culinary connection with the Glen and its people. Take the tiny village of Ballater. It seems every shop here has a warrant to supply the castle. The village bakery is amongst them. Bread from here is sent up to what's called the Big House. A loaf, or rather the middle of one, is needed for the first meal of the day.
This is a crouton that I'm making. It's to serve the poached eggs on for royal breakfast. Cut it out like that, and then you take a smaller cutter and cut inside like that, but you don't go right through with the little one. And when it's fried, scoop out the middle, so it looks like an empty vol au vent case, and the poached egg will just nestle on top of it.
And what goes with the Queen's poached egg? Well, this is Michael Sheridan's butcher's shop in Ballater. He's a royal warrant holder and supplier of the royal sausages.
We do a huge range of sausages. We do a beef and Guinness, we do pork and pineapple, we do pork and apple. Venison's a very popular one as well.
So what's the secret of sausages fit for a queen? The finest mincemeat isn't the only thing you need.
Special blend of seasonings. A good quality breadcrumb. A little water. Make it bind together. That's now sausage meat. The sausages that go to Balmoral are exactly the same sausage as you can buy in the shop.
Oh, and another thing, the casing. It's a traditional one, not for the faint-hearted.
Some people use a synthetic skin, but we like to stick to a natural product, which is from a sheep's innards. Which gives you one huge line of sausage, which you then make into lengths of sausage.